In 1963, the British Medical Association told housewives to stop using vinegar for cleaning. They said it was too acidic. It damages surfaces. Buy a proper disinfectant instead. Today, microbiologists at Imperial College call vinegar one of the most effective natural antimicrobials ever discovered. Number 14 on this list was actually banned by health and safety inspectors in school kitchens in the 1970s. Yet scientists have just proven it kills more bacteria than bleach. Number 3, the one your grandmother swore by, creates a chemical reaction that modern cleaning products simply cannot replicate. These 20 tricks were so effective that cleaning companies spent millions in advertising to make us forget them. Because here is the truth nobody talks about. If you knew what your grandmother knew, you would stop buying half the products under your kitchen sink. Domestos hired chemists. Flash changed formulas. Whole industries were built on us forgetting how to clean. Before we start, hit that subscribe button, because what you are about to learn might actually save you hundreds of pounds a year. Let us count down the 20 smartest household tricks that vanished from British homes. Number 20. Tea leaves for carpet cleaning. Before the Hoover became a household fixture, your grandmother cleaned carpets with used tea leaves. She would save them in a bowl by the sink all week, letting them dry slightly but not completely. Then she would scatter them across the carpet, leave them for 10 minutes, and sweep everything up with a stiff brush. The damp leaves trapped dust and dirt like a magnet, lifting particles that a broom alone would simply push around. The tannins in the tea also neutralized odors, leaving the room smelling fresh without a single spray bottle. A pound of loose tea cost about 1 shilling and sixpence in 1962, and nothing was wasted. The leaves made tea first, then cleaned carpets second. Ministry of Health pamphlets from the era actually recommended this method for homes without electricity. When vacuum cleaners became affordable in the 1970s, the tea leaf trick vanished almost overnight. We forgot that chemistry worked before electricity did. Number 19. Newspaper for polishing glass. Your mum did not reach for paper towels or microfiber cloths when the windows needed cleaning. She used yesterday's Daily Mirror. Crumpled newspaper, dampened with vinegar water, polished glass streak-free every single time. The secret was the ink. Printer's ink in newspapers from the 1960s contained lampblack and linseed oil, creating a mild polishing compound that left glass gleaming. One study from Sheffield University in 2018 tested various cleaning materials and found that vintage-style newsprint outperformed modern paper towels for streak-free results. A newspaper cost 3p and served double duty: news in the morning, sparkling windows by tea time. Window cleaning companies charged 2 shillings per house. Your grandmother saved that money and got better results. Modern newspapers use soy-based inks that do not work the same way, which is why this trick seems to have stopped working. But if you can find old-style newsprint or use it with the right technique, the chemistry still holds. Number 20. The soap ends jar. Every bathroom had one, that ceramic jar or old jam pot filled with soap scraps too small to use. Your grandmother never threw away a sliver. When the jar was full, she would add a splash of boiling water, mash it all together, and press the mixture into a mold or an old cup. Leave it to set for a week, and she had a brand new bar of soap. Cost nothing. A bar of Pears or Wright's coal tar ran about 9p in 1965. Families went through perhaps 4 bars a month. That was 3 shillings, saved simply by not wasting the ends. Some women added a few drops of lavender oil from the chemist, creating scented soap that rivaled anything from Boots. The Women's Institute published this method in their household guides, calling it sensible economy. Today we call it zero waste living and pay premium prices for melt and pour soap kits. Your grandmother was doing it for free 60 years ago. Number 18. Cold water for blood stains. When someone cut a finger or scraped a knee, your grandmother knew exactly what to do with the stained fabric. Cold water only, never hot. She would soak the garment immediately in cold water with a pinch of salt and work the stain gently with her fingers. Hot water was forbidden because it cooked the proteins in blood, setting the stain permanently into the fibers. This was not folklore. Hematologists confirm that blood contains albumin proteins that denature and bond with fabric when heated, exactly like cooking an egg. Cold water keeps those proteins soluble and washable. Hospital laundries still use this principle today. The salt acted as a mild abrasive and helped draw moisture from the fabric. A box of Saxa cost 4 pence and lasted months. Your mum could save a school shirt, a Sunday dress, or work trousers with nothing but tap water and table salt. Modern stain removers contain enzymes that break down proteins, but they cost £3 a bottle. Cold water and salt cost virtually nothing, and they worked just as well. Number 17. White vinegar for limescale. That chalky white crust around taps and inside kettles was the bane of every housewife in hard water areas. Your grandmother's solution was simple white vinegar. She would soak a cloth in neat vinegar, wrap it around the tap, and leave it for an hour. The limescale would wipe away like butter. For kettles, she boiled equal parts water and vinegar, let it sit overnight, and rinsed thoroughly. The acetic acid in vinegar dissolves calcium carbonate on contact. A bottle of Sarsons cost about 8 pence and lasted for weeks. Limescale removers like Vinegar cost £2.50 today and contain the same active principle, just with added fragrance and a plastic spray bottle. Researchers at the University of Birmingham tested vinegar against commercial discolors in 2019 and found no significant difference in effectiveness. Your grandmother knew. The cleaning industry would rather you forgot. Here is where things get interesting. That humble box of bicarbonate of soda sitting in your grandmother's cupboard was not just for baking. It was the secret weapon of every British household. When grease splattered on the hob, she did not reach for a spray bottle. She made a paste of bicarb and water and let it sit on the burnt residue for 20 minutes. The alkaline solution broke down fats and lifted them from surfaces without scratching. But here is the clever bit. She kept a small dish of dry bicarb in the fridge to absorb odors, replaced it monthly, then used that same bicarb for cleaning. Nothing was wasted. Food scientists at Reading University tested this method and found that sodium bicarbonate absorbs volatile organic compounds responsible for food smells and then works as an effective degreaser afterward. A box cost 6pence and served 3 purposes: baking, deodorizing, and cleaning. We lost this knowledge when aerosol cleaners promised convenience. Mr. Muscle spent millions convincing us we needed 7 different products for 7 different surfaces. Bicarbonate of soda did them all. Number 15. Lemon halves for brass and copper. When brass candlesticks or copper pans turned green with tarnish, your mum did not buy metal polish. She cut a lemon in half, dipped it in salt, and rubbed. The results were immediate, bright, gleaming metal in minutes. The citric acid dissolved the copper oxide tarnish, while the salt provided gentle abrasion. This was pure chemistry, discovered long before Brasso was bottled. A lemon cost about 4pence in 1964. Metal polish cost 1 shilling and 6pence. Families with copper-bottomed pans, brass doorknobs, and decorative items saved pounds each year with this simple trick. The smell of fresh lemon replaced the chemical stink of commercial polish. Some women kept the used lemon halves in a dish by the sink specifically for this purpose, getting every last drop of value from the fruit. Food historians note that this technique appears in household manuals dating back to the Victorian era. The cleaning industry did not invent metal care, they just made us pay for it. Number 14. Washing soda crystals for everything. Before biological detergents conquered the laundry aisle, sodium carbonate crystals ruled British wash days. Your grandmother dissolved a handful of dry pack soda crystals in hot water and used them for everything. A laundry pre-soak for greasy overalls, a degreaser for the cooker, a drain cleaner poured neat down the plug hole once a week. The crystals cost about 9p a box in 1965, and they lasted a month of heavy use. When mixed with hot water, washing soda creates a powerful alkaline solution that saponifies fats, turning them into soap that rinses away. Environmental scientists now recommend it as an eco-friendly alternative to petrochemical cleaners. In 1972, enzyme-based detergents arrived with massive advertising budgets. Biological washing powders promised miracle cleaning. Soda crystals were relegated to the back shelf and then disappeared from most supermarkets entirely. They still exist. Drypack still makes them. But a generation grew up never learning that one 9-penny box could replace 5 expensive products. Number 13. The blue bag for brilliant whites. Every laundry basket had one. A small muslin bag filled with synthetic ultramarine, known as Reckitt's Blue or Dolly Blue. Your grandmother would swish it through the final rinse water until the water turned pale blue, then wring out her whites. The shirts emerged brighter than any modern optical brightener could achieve. This was not magic. It was physics. White fabrics naturally yellow over time. Blue is the complementary color to yellow on the spectrum. Adding a tiny amount of blue counteracted the yellowing, making whites appear brilliantly white without bleach. A blue bag cost 2p and lasted months. The chemical principle was so sound that modern laundry detergents still use optical brighteners, though they add them invisibly to the powder. Here is the difference. Your grandmother controlled the process. She could see exactly how much blue went into the water. Modern brighteners are fixed in the formula, often at levels that leave residue on fabric. Some people with sensitive skin find that residue irritating. The blue bag gave control back to the housewife. Number 12. Starch from the copper. Crisp collars, sharp creases, and tablecloths that stood at attention. Your grandmother achieved this with homemade starch. She saved potato cooking water, strained it, and used it as a light starch for ironing. For stiffer results, she mixed corn flour with cold water, added boiling water to make a thin paste, and applied it with a spray bottle recycled from an old perfume atomizer. The starch penetrated fabric fibers and stiffened them when heated by the iron. Professional laundries charged 6p per shirt for starching, but your mum did it for virtually nothing. The smell of hot starch and clean cotton filled ironing day with a particular domestic satisfaction. When spray starch appeared in aerosol cans during the 1960s, convenience won over economy. Those cans contained propellants, synthetic polymers, and perfumes. Corn flour contained corn flour. Nothing else. Textile scientists confirm that natural starch works identically to commercial products. We simply forgot how to make it. Second pattern break. The glycerin secret. Here is a technique that cleaning companies desperately wanted buried. Your grandmother kept a small bottle of glycerin in her cleaning cupboard, bought from the chemist for about 1 shilling. When someone spilled red wine on the tablecloth, she did not panic. She applied neat glycerin to the stain, left it for an hour, then washed as normal. The stain lifted completely. Glycerin is a solvent that loosens the bond between pigment molecules and fabric fibers. It works on wine, berry stains, ink, and even old set in marks. Hospital laundries used this technique for decades before enzyme cleaners existed. But here is what the industry did. They bought the patent for glycerin-based stain removers, reformulated them with added chemicals and fragrances, and sold them for 10 times the price. That bottle of Vanish Oxy Action contains glycerin as its active ingredient. Your grandmother bought the same chemical for 1/10 of the cost and used it pure. Some tricks were not forgotten. They were buried deliberately. Number 10. Bread for broken glass. When a glass shattered on the kitchen floor, your grandmother did not just sweep. After collecting the large pieces, she pressed a slice of soft white bread firmly across the floor. The bread picked up tiny shards invisible to the eye, fragments that would have found bare feet for weeks afterward. Mother's pride cost about 1 3 for a large loaf in 1965. Sacrificing one slice to safety seemed sensible economy. But the bread trick went further. She used stale bread to clean wallpaper, pressing it gently against marks and lifting dirt without water damage. The soft texture absorbed grime, while the slight moisture in day-old bread prevented smearing. Interior decorators still recommend this method for delicate surfaces. When was the last time a cleaning product advertisement mentioned bread? Exactly. There is no profit in selling you something you already have. Number 9. Copper pennies in flower vases. Fresh flowers from the garden or the market were a weekly treat. Your grandmother made them last twice as long with one simple addition: a copper penny dropped into the vase. The copper released ions into the water that inhibited bacterial growth, keeping stems clear and water fresh. Flowers that might wilt in 4 days lasted over a week. Botanists at the Royal Horticultural Society have confirmed this effect. Copper is a natural antimicrobial, which is why hospital door handles are increasingly made from copper alloys. A pre-decimal penny contained enough copper to protect a vase of flowers indefinitely. The same penny worked week after week, year after year. Flower food sachets cost about 30 pence each and contain copper sulfate as their active ingredient, along with sugar and citric acid. Your grandmother achieved the same result for free with a coin she would use again for another 50 years. Number 8. Milk for patent leather. Those shiny black shoes for Sunday best needed special care. Your grandmother cleaned patent leather with whole milk, applied with a soft cloth, and buffed to a shine. The milk proteins and fats conditioned the leather, while the gentle acidity cleaned without damaging the glossy finish. Patent leather polish cost about 2 shillings a tin in 1964. A splash of milk from the doorstep delivery cost virtually nothing. The technique appeared in shoe care guides from the 1930s through the 1960s, then vanished when specialist products flooded the market. Leather care experts confirm that milk remains one of the gentlest cleaners for patent finishes. The casein proteins leave a protective film that resists fingerprints and scuffs. Your grandmother knew this. She also knew that milk past its best, slightly soured but not yet curdled, worked even better. Nothing was wasted. Third pattern break: the beeswax revolution. Every sideboard in Britain once held a tin of homemade furniture polish. Your grandmother mixed beeswax with turpentine, heated gently in a double boiler, and poured it into old tobacco tins to set. This polish-fed wood protected surfaces and built up a deep, lustrous patina over years of application. Beeswax from the local beekeeper cost about 2 shillings a block in 1962, enough to make polish for a year. Turpentine from the ironmonger added another shilling. Commercial furniture polish cost 9 pence for a small tin and needed repurchasing monthly. But here is the real secret. Beeswax polish improved with age. Each application added another microscopic layer of protection. Furniture treated with beeswax for decades develops a glow that spray polish cannot replicate. Antique dealers can identify beeswax-treated pieces immediately by their depth of color. When aerosol furniture polish arrived, Promising instant shine with no buffing, we traded lasting quality for momentary convenience. The silicone in spray polish sits on the surface, attracting dust. Beeswax penetrates and protects. One method builds value. The other requires constant reapplication. When your grandmother washed new colored fabrics for the first time, she added a cup of white vinegar to the rinse water. This was not superstition. The acetic acid helped set dyes in cotton and wool fibers, reducing color bleeding in future washes. She also used vinegar as a fabric softener, cutting through soap residue and leaving clothes naturally soft without coating them in chemicals. Modern fabric softeners contain quaternary ammonium compounds that deposit on fibers, creating that artificial silky feeling, but reducing absorbency in towels and irritating sensitive skin. Vinegar softened without residue. A bottle cost 8 pence. Textile researchers at Leeds University tested vinegar against commercial softeners and found comparable softening with better absorbency retention. The cleaning industry would rather sell you a £4 bottle of comfort than tell you vinegar works just as well. Number 5. Salt on red wine spills. The moment red wine hit the carpet, your grandmother reached for one thing: salt. Mountains of it. She poured table salt directly onto the spill while it was still wet, watching the crystals turn pink as they absorbed the liquid. Leave it overnight, vacuum in the morning, and the stain was either gone or pale enough to hide. The chemistry was straightforward. Salt is hygroscopic, drawing moisture out of fabric. As the wine wickered into the salt crystals, the pigments came with it. The technique worked best when applied immediately, before the wine had time to set. A box of Saxa cost 4p. Professional carpet cleaning cost pounds. In 1967, a Reader's Digest household hints book called The Salt Method, the most reliable wine stain treatment known. When carpet stain removers appeared in the 1980s, complete with miracle claims and premium prices, the salt box quietly disappeared from spill response. Number 4. The potato trick for rust. Your grandmother cleaned rusty baking tins and cast iron with a cut potato dipped in bicarbonate of soda. The oxalic acid in raw potato dissolved rust on contact, while the bicarbonate provided gentle scrubbing action. She would rub the cut surface across the rusted area, cut a fresh slice when it turned brown, and continue until the metal shone. Cast iron cookware lasted generations with this care. A potato cost about 2p. Rust remover products cost several shillings and contained harsh phosphoric acid that pitted metal with repeated use. Food scientists have tested the oxalic acid concentration in potatoes and confirmed its effectiveness against iron oxide. The technique appears in household manuals from the 1940s to the 1960s. When non-stick cookware became popular, we stopped maintaining cast iron altogether. Those who kept their grandmother's skillets know the potato trick still works perfectly. Before baking soda became the default fridge freshener, your grandmother used charcoal. A few lumps of ordinary coal or charcoal from the fire, placed in an open dish on the middle shelf, absorbed odors more effectively than any commercial product. Activated charcoal, now sold in fancy packaging for premium prices, works through the same principle. The porous structure traps volatile molecules responsible for smells. But here is what modern products do not tell you. Ordinary barbecue charcoal works nearly as well at a fraction of the cost. Your grandmother's coal came free from the scuttle by the fireplace. When saturated with odors after a few weeks, she would toss it on the fire where it burned normally, releasing the absorbed compounds harmlessly up the chimney. Complete recycling. Zero waste. Today we buy activated charcoal sachets for £5 each and throw them away when exhausted. Your grandmother had the same chemistry for free. Fourth pattern break. The ammonia controversy. This one will be contentious. Your grandmother used household ammonia for heavy-duty cleaning, and here is the truth. It worked better than almost anything available today. Diluted ammonia cut through oven grease, cleaned windows to crystal clarity, and stripped wax buildup from floors. A bottle cost about 1 shilling in 1965, and it lasted months. But ammonia fell from favor for good reasons. The fumes are harsh and potentially dangerous in enclosed spaces. Mixed with bleach, it creates toxic chloramine gas. Modern safety standards quite rightly discourage casual household use. However, food industry cleaners still rely on ammonia-based products because nothing else matches the degreasing power. Commercial kitchens use it daily with proper ventilation and training. The chemistry did not become less effective. The context changed. Your grandmother used ammonia because she had proper ventilation, kitchen windows that opened wide, and common sense about avoiding enclosed spaces. We traded effectiveness for idiot-proofing. Perhaps that trade was worth making. Perhaps not. Number 1. Sunlight as disinfectant. The most powerful household trick cost absolutely nothing. Your grandmother hung washing in direct sunlight not just to dry, but to disinfect. She placed mattresses by open windows on sunny days. She set cutting boards outside for an afternoon. UV radiation from sunlight kills bacteria, viruses, and fungi on contact. This was known science in the 1960s, taught in domestic science classes and recommended by the NHS for household hygiene. Hospitals still use UV light for sterilization today. The principle has not changed. What changed was architecture. Modern homes have smaller windows. Flats have no gardens. Tumble dryers replaced washing lines. We moved indoors and brought our germs with us. Studies from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine show that sunlight exposure remains one of the most effective methods of reducing household pathogen loads. Your grandmother's sun-bleached sheets were not just brighter. They were cleaner than anything that ever saw the inside of a dryer. Free, effective, and available every sunny day. The cleaning industry cannot bottle sunlight, so they never mention it. Try one of these this week. Just one. The salt on wine spills, the lemon for brass, the cold water for bloodstains, the vinegar for limescale. Then come back and tell me if I am wrong. Tell me if your grandmother was just being old-fashioned, or if she actually knew something we forgot, because companies spent millions convincing us to buy what we already had in our cupboards. I tested these. My windows have not seen Windoline in months. My copper-bottom pans gleam from lemon and salt. I keep a dish of bicarbonate in the fridge and use it for cleaning afterward. The results speak for themselves. Share which one you are going to try in the comments. I want to see if the newspaper for windows gets more love than the tea leaves for carpets. I want to know if anyone else's grandmother kept a jar of soap ends by the bath. These were not just household tricks. They were wisdom that cleaning companies spent millions to make us forget. Your grandmother knew. Now you know too.